Bug. And also on excursions, he had the line, my pops used to say, it reminded him of Bebop. I said, well, Daddy, don't you know that things move in cycles? The way Bobby Brown is just amping like Michael. And I just feel like Tip just said, if I yank the plug on R&B, but I can't, and that's Bug, and it seems like it was still, yeah, I want to be the center of attention. I want to do big numbers. I want to have the sales, and I want the videos and the adulation and the fame and all of that stuff. But he was like, you know what? It seemed like he still was attached to the fact that I'm still basing all of my material off of jazz and R&B.
Mm-hmm. I'm killing
So what?
It was kind of like he was that dilemma of I'm killing my parent. I want to put a plug, but I can't. You know what I'm saying? It was a real issue. It seemed like he was having. You know what I'm saying? This is the life force for my music, but at the same time, it looks down on my music. It kind of disrespects my music, and I want to put a plug on it so that I can truly live, but I can't.
Right. So when I ask you, do you think that because now it seems like R&B got pushed to the side, the vocalist got pushed to the side, the older style writing for R&B, all of that stuff got pushed to the side. R&B was pretty much dead for a few years after the neo soul movement, and then maybe starting with 50 and some of the southern artists, these cats pop up trying to sing. And then another aspect that I told you is the last 6 to 8, maybe even 10 years, that might be a little far back, but then the rappers start touring with bands. So it's like it was like it was like Frank Lucas's right-hand man assassinated him to take over the territory, and then just did the same thing, still left the dope in the blue bag.
Yeah. Chinchilla hat and all that, It's wild, man, because I think for a long time it was that R&B is soft, R&B is sensitive, and R&B is this and that, and I ain't gonna sing to get no chick. I'm gonna be this, and she gonna love me, and I'm gonna do whatever I want, right? And so that whole disrespect for the art of R&B, and then on the commercial side, I gotta have one song. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have one song with somebody singing on it. Starting back in what Mess and Mary was kind of that flashpoint for, well, you gotta have at least one of these in your catalog. You gotta have Can't Knock the Hustle. You gotta have If I Ruled the World. But then
Sunshine.
Yeah, right. Sunshine. Oh yeah, Sunshine is just straight prostituting. Jay at his worst. And that's my guy. But yeah, that was really like that's the obvious reach. You know what I'm saying? Of it ain't even subtle. It ain't even casual. It's we going all out. But yeah, like you said, it was that. And at first they came in, and I'm glad you brought up 50, because that's what's hilarious. He came with that and killed Ja's career for basically doing something very similar, and then everybody else took that. Kanye did his thing with it. Drake is making a mint off of it. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't need such and such if I can just finagle even mediocre singing with my stuff. And, you know, Drake told Meek Mill, you getting bodied by a singing nigga, but it's mediocre singing at its best. You know what I'm saying? But it's selling, and it's making him mad dollars, but it's mediocre, man. And so I think the industry wants to be young. And young people drive the industry. And so young people see that I can get what I want from Drake. I can get what I want from so-and-so and such. And so I really don't need whomever. Like, who else is there that's technically, or I mean, not even technically young, but that is actually young and making moves? Like Chris Brown is the go-to guy for most of these guys if they want to sing and collabo. They may grab Trey songs, but you know, it's like R&B is second to rap in sales and in artistry almost.
Now, this is kind of related to rap, but I mean, another phase of R&B is now we're not even going to the R&B cats anymore. Now we're going to the Ed Sheerans, this Charlie Puth, or whoever he is. I never even heard of him. Right. We getting Harry Styles or whatever. We going to the pop people to throw them in the songs now. So now we're circumventing the whole soulfulness of the stuff, and just blatantly just grabbing the like I said, the current pop artists and throwing them in the hook. Right.
And it's not even that if you build it they will come mentality anymore. It's like if they come, we might build it. You know what I'm saying? It's they want the audience first, but they don't necessarily have the artistry. I look back and Prince took 3 albums before anybody outside of regional Midwest America and a couple New York stations and stuff was really paying attention to him. And we remember that as cool as the Fugees was, nobody paid attention to Ooh La 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 or Fuji La. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even that I'm going to build an audience or try to figure myself out. I got to come with the biggest bang I got. And then if I don't follow it up, I at least made 2 million views on YouTube in my first month and da-da-da-da. But they don't have a structure behind that big single. So it's really just trying to get whatever's after that, and there's no body to it. It's just like a talking head, so to speak.
Right. Once again, this is Pay Me No Mind with your host, Wood. I got my man Rashid on here. I'm trying to get Rashid over to the Twitter space. I've been lobbying with him for about 8 or 9 months now, but I've been largely unsuccessful, but maybe after that, because it'd be nice to promote this with your Twitter handle, in case anybody wanted to holler at you for whatever reason.
But, that is true. Maybe I'll get one tonight, just because.
Cause I'm inviting you back, cause you really I'm trying to do a bunch of different series for Pay Me No Mind, and I'm looking for some entertainment as far as music, TV shows, and even some movies and stuff. So the invite is gonna be there, and maybe that's an impetus for you to go out there and get that Twitter handle, man. I'm sure Wikipedia is not taken. You gonna have about 20 minutes after we get done on this. You gonna have about 20 minutes to go out there and get that set up before I put this out to the world.
I'm on it.
Okay. Hey, so one thing I asked you, like in the outline, was, man, what major sign might we have missed as music fans that R&B was going to be eventually supplanted by hip hop? And I mentioned songs like Boys to Men, Vibin' with Meth and Tretch, and I forget who else was on there, but Brandy had the remix to Wanna Be Down with like Light and Latifah on there, and I'm referencing them because those were some of the first signs that hip hop and like R&B with kind of a hip hop feel to it, to break a little bit from BBD. It was like these worlds aren't too far apart, and I just feel like those 2 songs right there, when I look back at it, the remix of Vibin' is probably one of the most slept on posse joints of all time.
Real talk. Yes, exactly. Cool. Do you remember the other 2 rap dudes that was on there? It was Craig Mack was one of them, and I can't remember the 4th guy.
Okay.
Let me look that up right now, because that's gonna drive me crazy. But yeah, and the Brandy joint is cool that you mentioned it, because they were like neck and neck for me. They were. It was cool video, black and white and all that, So I don't know why that was underappreciated the way that it was. Aside from the fact that Boys to Men were kind of featured on their own song.
Exactly.
So other than that, because that was a hot joint, man. I can't even. Let me see.
Go ahead and talk. I'm looking it up right now. But
yeah, Tretch, Busta Rhymes, and Redman.
That's what it was, Bus.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and then you already mentioned, which that earned Method Man his Grammy for the joint with him and Mary.
All I Need to Get By, yeah.
All I Need to Get By, but that was still a little later down. No, not too later, but yeah, man, was it beyond those? I mean, where did it click? Like, you know what? Like you said, the rappers could just kind of slowly ease the R&B people out of the room and just kind of bring it back, and now you're the feature on my project nowadays.
Yeah, it's that check your own videos, you always be number 2. You know, it's that it's that whole thing of when they did that, Boyz II Men did Vibin', and they got those guys on that, and they did Hey Lover with LL. And
right.
It was kind of like R&B needed that hip hop cosign as opposed to vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And it was, hey, we still cool. Look, LL was my best friend, or you know, I'm down with Craig Mack, or I'm down with whatever. So it was like that stamp of approval, like your pops going to the club with you. You know what I'm saying? It was like, hey. I don't know how cool that is or whatever. And so it merged from that into and I think Dave Hollister was the first one I really paid attention to, that he was more talking lyrics than singing lyrics. Still had a melody,
right.
Still had some singing-ish to it, but you know, it was conversational. As opposed to just singing, you know what I'm saying? And then R. Kelly took that and ran with it just like he did Aaron Hall's career. And so, you know, he kind of just pushed Dave Hollister to the side to where he was making kind of like Chitlin Circus stuff. And so it was like that whole vibe. R&B had to talk now. It couldn't just sing to you. It kind of had to talk and be hip-hop-ish. R. Kelly getting his hair braided in the video just like Ja Rule got his hair braided in the video. And, it was like it was a marriage where one of them lost their identity, and it wasn't hip-hop. You know what I'm saying? It was R&B. It kind of, and as you said, hip-hop became R&B, in a way. So, R&B kind of lost its identity, man.
Do you think, and this is for me, in the last 6-7 years, it seems like Joe, while he hasn't had any mainstream hits and done big numbers, he's managed to have a steady career and be really consistent. Really, his last 3 or 4 albums have really been outstanding. This last one, Bridges, was a little less of the 3 or 4 that I'm talking about, starting with, it was probably the album before Signature, but then it was Signature, Evolution of a Man or something, the joint with Emergency on it.
Right. Dang, I just looked at that the other day. But yeah.
Brand New Man or New Joe or something it was called.
Yeah, Brand New Joe, that's it.
But it was like, my question was, do you think that R. Kelly, the way that he embraced hip-hop and invited all the rappers in, it kind of seems like they left him without a house, and it really led to his decline and his demise, and he really hasn't been able to get his career back on track. Whereas, like I said, Joe hasn't had the big-time success as R. Kelly, but he never lost himself, and he's still making solid albums, whereas now R. Kelly can't really make an album that I'm going to buy.
Man, and not that we're not going to buy it, because we grew up with him, but nobody's going to buy it. I mean, not nobody. There are the girls who will throw their panties on the stage just because he said good morning. But there is a large part of the music population, especially our age, that sees him as a guy with no identity. Like, who are you? Are you the trapped in the closet guy? Are you the double up guy? Are you the write me back guy? Are you the love letter guy? Who are you? And so since I can't really relate to who you, I don't want to say pretending to be, who you present yourself as, I can't really dig you. And as far as Joe, he's always been there. Up and down, like the biggest Joe album might be what? 1.5, maybe 2 million with All That I Am, maybe double platinum.
Right.
But he was never huge. 12 plays sold 12 million records here in just the U.S. I don't know how many is sold outside, but you know what I'm saying? So you got to follow that up. and then you start chasing trends, and you lose